Welcome to the weather briefing for Monday, February 29th. I'm meteorologist Jeffrey Cote. The weather across the inland northwest will be active. A system arrives Tuesday, with possible snow impacts near the Cascades, rain elsewhere, with increasing winds late. Then a system moves through every 24 hours or so, with alternating wet and dry periods, until later next weekend when a potentially wetter system moves in. There could be some winds with each of these systems, and there could be rises in some streams and rivers, but at this time there is little risk of main stem flooding. Here is a picture of the atmosphere over the Pacific Northwest right now. A parent low is found near the Aleutians, and this will approach the west coast by the end of the week. Meanwhile, smaller scale systems are tracking around it. Through the work week, the individual systems move by relatively quickly. But by the weekend, the approach of the parent low will slow things at least a little bit and allow a tap into a longer fetch of moisture. Between Tuesday and Wednesday, the first systems move through. Late tonight into Tuesday, the leading warm front lifts in. Precipitation is expected to start into the Cascades first, then rapidly expand across the region by early Tuesday. Some of that precipitation could be steadier and moderate across the Cascades through the northern mountains. However, a decrease in precipitation is expected from the southeast through the late morning to early afternoon across southeast Washington and lower Idaho, before it is revitalized with the incoming front. The precipitation chances will remain high through the evening with the incoming upper trough, before the risk retreats to the mountains through Wednesday. Snow is more likely in the Cascades and northern mountains, including near the Methow Valley. Some snow may be mixed with rain in the morning in the valleys along and north of Interstate 90, but no impacts are expected from that. Winds will increase ahead of the system, but the stronger winds are expected with the cold front passage in the evening. Here is a look at the snow amounts for Tuesday through Wednesday morning. The most significant snows are expected toward the Cascades. Colder air trapped near the Cascades will allow for snow levels down towards some valley floors, especially toward the Methow. Advisories are in place for the Cascades for this period. Impacts are possible through places such as Stevens Pass and up through the Methow Valley around Wisp and Winthrop, where some moderate snows are possible. Winds will increase ahead of the system, but the stronger winds are expected with the cold front passage in the evening, as said. The main area of concern is across the Columbia Basin into the Spokane area and Palouse. Peak wind speeds are expected to develop towards 6 p.m. or so, before gradually decreasing late in the evening to overnight. Gusts up to 45 miles per hour are possible. The main impacts are driving difficulties, with the potential for isolated power outages. Blowing dust doesn't look like a big threat at this time, but it will be monitored. A possible limiting factor is the evening cold front passage. This timing can limit mixing and gust potential. At this time, no wind advisories are in place, but it will be monitored. Here is an overview of the pattern evolution for the latter half of the week and next weekend. The image on the left shows the next front to push through Wednesday night into Thursday. This system moves by quickly, with a period of precipitation largely along the front, then more showery and mountain-centric weather going into Thursday afternoon. Towards Friday, and especially the weekend, the pattern turns more amplified, with a better tap of moisture aimed at the region for a more prolonged threat of precipitation. The details are too complicated for this setting, and models are still coming together on the precise evolution. The main message is, with the increased precipitation threat, increased southerly flow with some milder air, the RFC is showing rises on some area waterways. At this time, none of the rivers are forecast to go above action stage, but we will have to monitor this and other smaller creeks and streams for rises and maybe minor flooding. Here is an overview of the next 7 days for Spokane, showing the episodic precipitation threat. The precipitation threat is highest Tuesday, early Thursday, and on the weekend. Temperatures are expected to remain at least slightly above seasonal averages, especially towards the end of the week as the southerly flow increases ahead of the approaching low. Now here is an overview of the next 7 days for Wenatchee. The precipitation threat is highest Tuesday and next weekend. Temperatures are expected to remain at least slightly above seasonal averages. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook issued by the Climate Prediction Center. The outlook calls for a high probability of warmer than normal temperatures and above normal precipitation, with the low near the coast continuing to send systems into the region. Thank you for listening. You can stay informed on the latest weather information by following us on Facebook, Twitter, or watching our weekly weather briefings on YouTube. Have a great week.